Live from the Sports and Recreation Center at the campus of the College of Staten Island, CSI Sportsnet is proud to welcome you into coverage of CUNY and CSI women's basketball. Tonight, the Baruch College Bearcats come into town to face the College of Staten Island Dolphins as both teams complete the first leg of CUNY play, the first of 2 meetings this season and completing the first of 8 through the conference. Good evening, everyone. I'm David Pizzuto alongside Mike Babuski. We have about 7 minutes away from tip-off here. You see the records on your screen. Baruch College coming in 4 in the win column, 8 in the loss column, 3 and 4 in the CUNY, looking to get back to 500. Meanwhile, Mike, the Dolphins suffered a tough loss against Hunter College, their only CUNY blemish of the season, but they followed that up since with 2 gritty road victories, including one against the defending champs at Brooklyn.
Yeah, you know, Dave, it's been an interesting time for the women's team since coming back from the break. You mentioned that the Dolphins had that tough loss against Hunter College, and, you know, it was really a game that Hunter outplayed the Dolphins, and they really played very effectively all over the floor, defended very well, and were able to hit their three-pointers, and that was coming after a game where Brooklyn had beat Hunter by double digits earlier in the week. So it looked like a tough challenge for the Dolphins going out on the road to Brooklyn College, but the team really came through, played a big game, and were able to come away with a big victory in that game. So now 3 teams sitting on top of the table with just 1 loss apiece.
Yeah, just 1 loss. Hunter has already completed their first round of CUNY competition. They sit with a 7-1 record. The Dolphins at 6-1, and then you have Brooklyn that's played a couple of less games. There you have the standings on your screen as we get set for this one, as they come into focus very nicely. You could see, Mike, the College of Staten Island well over 500 on the season. They boast the most wins in the conference overall, but they do trail by Hunter by a half game. And, of course, in that head-to-head matchup, both of those teams will meet in the second half of the season in Manhattan at the Hunter College Sportsplex. And you know, tonight, on paper anyway, Mike, the Dolphins have a game that they should be well favored in. They face a Baruch College team, Mike, that is still making inroads towards their rebuilding process and are looking to get just to 500 and keep themselves well in the mix of the 6th and final playoff spot, maybe even higher.
Yeah, you know, you're right, David. It's a big swing game. A big game for Baruch is they're going to try to come into the tank here and, you know, get a big upset win, and you don't have to go that far back until the last time they were able to do that. So, you know, for the Dolphins, a big game. They want to play very well here tonight, come away with the victory, because Hunter and Brooklyn are both right there with the Dolphins, and Hunter ahead of the Dolphins with the tiebreaker via their win earlier in the season. So, you know, it's getting to the point in the season where really all of these CUNYAC games are so important, and you see that even more on the men's side, which we'll get to a little bit later tonight.
Absolutely. So with 4.5 minutes to go here in pregame, Mike, let's look very quickly at both of these teams so far this season. CSI is being led by the usual suspects. Sophomore guard Megan McEwen continues to lead the team in scoring, 15.1 points per game. And then Diana Tadero close behind there. She's the premier inside threat. She missed the game against Lehman College in CSI's last game midweek, but she's averaging 12 points per game. She leads the Dolphins in rebounding, and her shooting percentage is continuing to elevate. Dolphins are going to need that inside presence of Diana and Kayla Schmitter here down the stretch.
Yeah, you know, this Dolphin team has been playing, you know, really well of late, Dave. You can see that coming off of those big couple of wins on the road, and you know, they're really starting to round into shape. I had a chance to speak with head coach Nicole Sarcone, and, you know, although it seemed like Hunter played very well in that game, you know, she felt the team could have defended those three-point shots a little bit better, and, you know, that's something that they were able to come out and then come back following up against a very tough Brooklyn College team, Dave, on the road, and it was really a big game. The crowd was really into it at Brooklyn College, and, you know, for the ladies to keep it together and be able to come away with a win in that game was really a huge win, and really something that keeps them in contention for the regular season championship.
Yeah, and in their loss against Hunter, Mike, the Dolphins gave up 75 points, which is the most they've given up to a CUNY team this season. But since then, Mike, they limited Brooklyn College to just 55 points, and they held Lehman to 34. This is a team that, as much as they'd like to improve on their offensive firepower, they're still a team, Mike, that wins with defense. They're holding opponents to less than 54 points a game. They're winning the rebounding battle, and they're creating a lot of turnovers.
Yeah, you know, the Dolphins sitting number 1 in the conference, Dave, in team defense, as you mentioned, at just under 54 points a game. And, you know, as you mentioned, this team really feeds much more off their defense. You looked at that high-powered team last year with all those offensive weapons. This team much more effective, or I should say much more at a slower pace in play in their offense, and really focused on getting their offense from their defense.
Absolutely, and Dolphins will look to get both of those arenas in order today, offensively and defensively, against the Bearcats, Mike, who are 4-8 this season overall. They're 1-3 on the road, so they have had their struggles, and but they have a young and developing team, a team that made inroads last season, and they have a couple of players who've joined the team as of late. One of those players, Mike, is Daniela Zerpolo, former CSI Dolphin of the CSI women's soccer team and basketball team. She's averaging 9 points through 6 games so far with the Bearcats, and they have a couple of really dynamic players too who can score.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting to see Daniela appear on the Baruch roster, but certainly an opportunity for her to go out and play for Baruch. And, you know, this team does have a little bit of size, Dave, and, you know, they always will have that Baruch championship CUNY pedigree. And, you know, that's something they carried forward, even though it's been a long time, though, Dave, at this point, since their last CUNYAC championship.
Yeah, at one point the Bearcats had taken 16 of the last 17 meetings with the Dolphins. Since then, the Dolphins have taken 5 of the last 6. Couple of other Baruch players to keep your eyes on today. Number 25, Melinda Spayu. She leads Baruch with 16 points per game. And Samantha Jenko, a 5'3 freshman, averaging 9.6. Mike, this is a Baruch College team with 7 freshmen and 3 sophomores on their roster. They are young.
Yeah, it's a young team. First-year head coach in Michael Kochizos. So, you know, they're a team with a lot to prove. You look on the roster, Dave, no juniors, no seniors on this Bearcat roster.
All right, so we are closing in on the introduction of our starting lineups and our national anthem. While we do that, we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, starting lineups from right here at the CSI Sports and Recreation Center. It's CSI versus Baruch coming up next.
Do you want to retire like a champ? Just like legendary basketball star Uncle Drew?
Don't do him like that, Uncle Drew!
You're already acing the game. You've got your dream ride.
Don't be slamming my door.
Sorry about that.
You just did the same.
Gotta get the boys. Your dream vacation and your dream team. And now you can make your retirement just as legendary.
I get buckets.
Get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
First time I tried Vicodin, it was laying around my mom's house. Then I kept taking them whenever I could get them. I didn't know they'd be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
No doubt you're going places, young lady.
Thank you. And thank you for the interview as well. I can imagine it was the last thing that you wanted to do after such a long campaign meeting.
You really are a very intelligent young woman. You're very smooth.
You're very smooth yourself.
You have no idea.
Awkward. I'm the awkward silence. You try to avoid me, then there I am again. But an awkward silence can be a great thing. Like Kelly here is about to demonstrate.
You haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.com.
We are back here live from the Sports and Recreation Center. We like to call it the Tank here at the College of Staten Island, home of the CSI men's and women's basketball teams. Our lineups are being introduced here. Our starting lineups are being introduced. And take a look at the starters here. We'll throw it over to Mike Babuski. Mike?
Thanks a lot, Dave. First, for the visiting Bearcats, it will be number 1, Frances Snyder. Number 2, Daniela Zappolo. Number 12, Valentina Michi. Number 15, Natalie Iderhoff, and number 20, Samantha Genko. We mentioned earlier the Bearcats coached by first-year head coach Michael Kostanos. For the College of Staten Island, it's going to be really the same starting 5 that this team has been playing with over the last few games. Number 1, Megan McEwen. Number 5, Nicole and Bessie. Number 13, Diana Tadero. Number 24, Jackie Callie, and number 25, Kayla Schmitter. And Dolphins, as we mentioned, coached by first-year head coach Nicole Zarcone. And Dave, you know, you couldn't have asked for a better start for Zarcone and the Dolphins. 6-1 in the conference, 12-4 overall, and they've really been red hot since the end of November.
Yeah, absolutely. They're playing very good defense. They're only allowing 53.8 points per game. They're playing a team today that only averages over 54, under 55 points per game. So they're going to try and showcase that defense. And, you know, just a couple of interesting things, Mike, with the starting lineup as we see. She's being introduced right now on your screen. Kayla Schmitter only getting her 3rd start of the season here. She's played in every game otherwise. And over on Baruch's side, their leading scorer, Melinda Spayu, not in the starting lineup. Not sure if she's in uniform. So I'm going to take a look at that. But she's averaging 16 points per game. So that'll be an interesting tidbit and something we'll have to look for as well. Number 25 not in the starting lineup for Baruch, and she had started 12 straight. So not sure, Mike, at this point. So we'll keep our eyes on that. In any event, CSI will be in the white-colored jerseys. They'll be going from left to right on your screen. And Baruch College, very similar colors to the CSI Dolphins, but they're in their road blues with white trim, and they'll be going from right to left. It'll be Schmitter who will jump it up for the Dolphins. And Natalie Ibelhot will jump it up for Baruch. Initial jump won by the Dolphins on Brooklyn's side of the floor. Megan McEwen, who will see the ball in her hands quite often this evening, starts to whip it around, gets it back, drops off to Schmitter. Free throw jumper, no good. Offensive board by Diana Tadero. McEwen for 3, and that's good.
Yeah, good second chance points for the Dolphins there off the offensive rebound by Tadero. Good start for the Dolphins.
Dolphins employ a bit of a press here, lazy press. Diana Tadero stepping in front of 1, and her, actually it will be Baruch's ball as Diana's left foot was out of bounds as she touched that ball in play. Baruch will get a full 30 on the shot clock. And handling will be Snyder. Kicking it around, Ibelhot. She receives a screen from Zappolo. They kick it around once again to Snyder. Snyder whips inside. Nice layup, no good. And Callie scores the rebound. Callie getting it back up top to Megan McEwen. McEwen looks around, finds a wide open Bessie in the corner for 3.
So the Dolphins with 2 3-pointers to start the game. Nicole and Bessie, Dave, was 1 for 4 on the season before that shot.
Yeah, she doesn't take them often, but was left wide open on that last go-around as Michi controls. She gets it around to Genko. Genko moving left to right, hands it right off to Snyder. Thought about pulling up. She's going to continue down the arc. Finds herself near the baseline, kicks up a 3, and that one's good.
Yes, Snyder left with plenty of room on that one, Dave. She's able to drill it.
3 points back and forth as Callie rushes in. Her shot too strong off the glass. Snyder scores the rebound. Baruch down by 3. And that one is off the fingertips, I believe, of Michi and out of bounds. So first turnover of the game Gives the ball back as we get another look at Megan McEwen's opening three-pointer. Dolphins will be in good shape if Megan can score those consistently tonight. Dolphins have doubled up, and now Callie left open for three. No good, and Zerpolo gets her first rebound. Daniela Zerpolo making her fifth appearance here for a seventh appearance, fifth start for Baruch. And there's a three from Ebelhart to tie the game up at 6.
So both teams trading two three-pointers to tie the game at 6.
Schmitter left open on the baseline. She kicks it back up top to Callie. Callie was fronted by Mitchie. Now she retreats. And Bessie left open. Tadaro on the baseline, cuts inside. Nice move off the glass and in. Gets the friendly roll. Dolphins up 8-6.
Yeah, Tadaro second on the team in scoring. Gets her first basket of the day. She also had the offensive rebound that led to their first three-pointer.
Snyder now rushing inside. Drops off to Zerpolo. Has to catch up to it. Gives it around to Ebelhart. Now Mitchie. Mitchie working inside. Gains the baseline. It's going to be no shot on the play. We have a foul before the shot went up. I believe that will be on Schmitter. And it will. Non-shooting. Baruch has it, down by 2, 8-6 here, early minutes. 3 minutes into the first quarter. Snyder being fronted by Mbesi. Good defense by Mbesi, but Snyder drives inside, lays it up off the glass, no good. Here comes CSI the other way, looking to run. Callie has to retreat a bit with Mitchie on her. Tadaro spots up and shoots. Long two-pointer for Diana Tadaro. CSI starting hot here in the game. They're up 10-6.
Yeah, no hesitation on that mid-range jumper.
There's a block by Schmitter the other way. CSI's first block. Dolphins over 50% so far for the evening. 4 out of 7 from the floor. This is Mbesi, drives inside, finds McEwen. Baseline three, no good. Skipping around, Ebelhart gets the rebound. Now Baruch looking to run here, three-quarter speed. Holding it up is Snyder. Frances Snyder making her 5th start this season. 7th game appearance for Baruch. Zerpolo, left-handed dribble, gives off to Mitchie. Mitchie for three, no good, missed it badly, and Schmitter scores the rebound.
Bearcats now 2 of 3 from the three-point line so far tonight.
That one skips out of bounds. That'll be a turnover for the Dolphins. And we have our first substitution of the game. It will be Caitlin Rivera, 5'6" freshman forward from Long Beach, New York. Seeing her first action here. She's played in all 13 games now for Baruch. She's made 4 starts. Now the give is over to Jenko, who's had limited touches. She skirts in from the left side and puts it over the CSI defense to cut the lead back down to 2.
Sorry, Dave. She was able to just go right through the Dolphin defense that time and lay it up in the basket to make it a 2-point game.
10-8 is our score. Schmitter left open on the baseline, skips it inside, and that time another turnover for the Dolphins as Brianna Rabisky is getting set to come in. And we have a 30-second timeout here called by CSI.
Yeah, so it's been a pretty even start to the game here so far this afternoon. The Dolphins 4 of 8 from the field, Baruch 3 of 7, including 2 of 3 from the three-point line. And you know, Dave, this is a Baruch team that averages 54 points a game, so they've been able to operate fairly effectively on the offensive end, and they've gotten off to a good start here this afternoon. Dolphins with 2 early turnovers, Baruch with 1 turnover, as it's been a pretty evenly played first quarter here thus far, and that's reflected in the score, with the Dolphins leading by a score of 10-8. Tadaro leading the Dolphins with 4 3-pointers apiece for Mbesi and McEwen.
So Baruch with a chance here to tie or take the lead on this possession. Mitchie rolls to the left, under Kayla Schmitter. She got fouled. Now that'll be Schmitter's second, Mike, if it's indeed scored on her. Tadaro was in the area as well.
Yeah, that's a big foul on Schmitter, Dave, because as you mentioned, that's going to be her second personal foul. And, you know, she already has a block today and defensively, and she leads the team in blocks. That was her 19th of the season. So she'll have to go to the bench, and, you know, it might be a little while before we see her again.
Meanwhile, Mitchie hit the first of 2 free throws. She's 14 of 21 for the season, 67%. Second free throw is off the back iron, no good. Rosa Perone will get her first look of the game, scores a rebound. Defensively, Dolphins up by just one, 10-9, as we are reaching the midway point of the first quarter. Mbesi, around the arc, gives it back over to Rybicki, up top. They swing it around, nice move to cut inside. Wide open, Diana Tadaro, great look by McEwen.
Yeah, that was a beautiful assist by Megan on that pass. And the Dolphins open the lead back to 3.
12-9, excuse me. Dolphins back up by 3. It is Jenko controlling. She's from Staten Island, New York. That's her hometown. Snyder cuts in. Nice move. Too strong off the glass. And Rybicki scores her first rebound of the game. CSI looking to run. Going across court. Tadaro gives it over to Perone. Perone misses the first layup. Goes up for the putback. She was fouled. Get another look there at the inside give from McEwen to Tadaro. She was wide open inside. Great look by the sophomore point guard.
Yeah, that was a beautiful pass that time to set up Tadaro for the easy layup, and then Perone able to use her size to grab the offensive rebound and draw the foul.
McEwen puts up another 3. No good, and that's the rebound there by Rivera. Cutting inside is Michie. Michie almost lost the handle there. Retreats back, gets it back up top to Millie Yee, who has come into the game. Hands it back off to Michie, 10 on the shot clock. Michie met by Perone, almost took it away. Shot clock continues to wind down. Now less than 5 on the clock. We might have a jump ball here. Possession will remain with Baruch, Mike, but they've just got 2 seconds to shoot.
Yeah, that was a couple of good defensive plays that time by Perone, Dave, way outside from the basket, able to get her hands on the ball a couple of times, and now Baruch with just 2 seconds remaining to shoot.
Snyder in, Michie out for Baruch. The give up top. Oh, and a foul by McEwen on Jenko. And so Baruch will get a fresh 30 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, I don't know about that call, Dave. That's a tough call, far away from the basket with the shot clock running down, but McEwen should know better than to reach in.
Exactly, with the Baruch player moving away from the basket with the shot clock winding down. We have an offensive foul as screening in the act of motion was Caitlin Rivera. So she gets called for her first. Baruch's second here of the half.
Yeah, and for the Bearcats, Dave, I believe that'll be their second turnover of the afternoon.
Tadaro back up top to McEwen. She was left open. Gives over to Rybicki. Baseline 3. It's good.
Yeah, 2 nice looking assists by McEwen, Dave. First on the inside layup there on the three-pointer by Rybicki.
And we have a travel violation, and so another turnover here for Baruch College. Will give the ball back to the Dolphins as CSI has opened their biggest lead. You see the three-pointers on your screen. Dolphins are at 50%. Baruch right there with them. But CSI is putting up more shots here. They have 4 more shots taken, a product of offensive rebounds, and now the turnovers. McEwen, interrupted by Snyder, gives over to Mbesi. Tadaro, Perone, long jumper, no good, in and out, and it's won by Jenko. Jenko now moving at high speed down the floor, right-hand side. Picks up her head, goes back up top to Snyder. Snyder receives the screen. Rivera fakes inside, sets up another screen on the outside. Snyder, Ibahot, left-handed dribble, gives over to Yee. Yee, she travels. Too many steps there from Millie Yee. And now, Mike, 3 straight possessions for the Bearcats, 3 turnovers.
Yeah, the Bearcats now with 4 turnovers on the afternoon, Dave. They're averaging just over 21 a game. So Dolphins doing a nice job putting defensive pressure on. Lead by 6 now with the ball.
It is their biggest lead here of the first quarter. As we approach 2.5 minutes remaining, it's Camerlengo again for a baseline 3. Baruch's been leaving that baseline 3 open. Camerlengo had checked into the game for Mbesi. Perone, turnaround in the lane, jumper no good. Rivera with the rebound.
Yeah, that was a good shot by Perone, just couldn't get it to fall.
Second rebound for Rivera in the contest. Snyder, right in front of the CSI bench, working against Rybicki. Once again receives a screen, gives over, and that's partially blocked by Perone on a three-point attempt by Jenko. And now Perone the other way receives a touchdown pass. Layup is good.
Yeah, nice job by Perone to make the touch and get ahead of the field and lay it up and in. That's her 12th block of the season.
CSI on a 7-0 run. There's a spot-up jumper for Snyder. No good. Long rebound. One by Perone. Perone wants Megan McEwen back. 1:40 to go. Camerlengo returns the favor to McEwen. Back over to Camerlengo. Looking for Perone, who's posting up inside. She was hacked. I believe 2 Bearcats in the area. Rivera or Ibaho, take your pick.
Yeah, Perone, the biggest player out on the floor, Dave, for both teams, as we have an opportunity to see that shot partially deflected and the nice pass ahead of the field to Perone, who lays it up and in. And, you know, she's a challenge for the Bearcats to defend inside, Dave. And for the last few possessions, the Dolphins have been feeding it into Perone on the inside.
Oh, Perone has had her struggles from the free throw line. First one is good. She's at an even 50% with that make, as one Rivera will replace another. Emily Rivera checks in for Baruch, and Daniela Zappolo has returned for the Bearcats. Dolphins on an 8-0 run. Perone can make it 9 here, and she does. The score was 10-8 at one point. Baruch had a chance to tie it at the free throw line, only made the one, and since then it's been all CSI. Here's Rivera. Kicks it back instead to Jenko. Rivera receives it back. Perone in front of her. And now this is Yee looking to penetrate. Can't gain the baseline. Has to opt to Rivera. Back over to Jenko. 10 on the shot clock. Jenko continuing to move. Rivera to Millie Yee. Yee travels again. And that is the 5th turnover for the Bearcats.
Yeah, the Dolphins continuing to put more and more pressure on the Bearcats offensively, and they've now turned it over again, Dave, and that's been a series of turnovers. You can see 5-2 on your scoreboard. It was 2-1 Dolphins at one point in the game, Dave, so the Bearcats have had the last 4 turnovers.
We have a foul away from the floor as Perone was spilled, and it looks like it will be on Caitlin Rivera. And if that's her foul, that's her 3rd. So Rivera promptly comes out in favor of Eberhardt.
Yeah, and now it's Perone getting fouls committed against her. That's the 3rd foul she's drawn, Dave, since she's checked into the game.
Baruch continuing to play in the zone. Camerlengo left open for 3, no good. Getting the offensive board was Tadero. Had to fight hard for that one. McEwen slips inside. Try to drop it off to Tadero. Find Camerlengo instead. Back over to McEwen. Baseline jumper missed, and we have a loose ball foul, I believe, on Camerlengo, who was in the lane. Baruch will get the benefits here of possession and a fresh 30. CSI looking to press here on the inbound.
Yeah, so that time Perone picking up the foul.
No, Camerlengo,
yeah,
Mike.
Camerlengo,
yeah,
sorry about that.
Baruch breaks the press. This is Zappolo working against McEwen. Give over to Emily Rivera. She skips it up over to Jenko. Jenko now working to her left, receives a screen. Tries to gain baseline, can't against Tadaro. Now less than 10 on the shot clock, down to 5. Eberhardt down over to Zappolo. Zappolo skips inside, off the glass and in. Nice jumper, runner in the lane by Zappolo.
Yeah, that's a big basket for Baruch.
Broke a 9-0 CSI run, as CSI will get the benefits of the last shot here if they can get one off with 5 and 4 and 3. Tadaro for a long 2, no good. And the scramble results in nothing as the Dolphins will take a 19-11 lead at the end of the first quarter. So we will step aside, take a break. When we come back, second quarter action live here from CSI Sports and Recreation Center. It's the Dolphins 19, the Bearcats 11.
This is why you took a second job. While you taught yourself how to fix the plumbing. While you'll do whatever it takes to keep your home. And that is why we want to help. We are making home affordable, a free government resource that can make paying the mortgage easier. Call 888-995-HOPE today.
Welcome back here to the CSI Sports and Recreation Center, the Tank on the College of Staten Island. CSI with a 19-11 lead here at the end of one. Mike, the score at one point was 10-9 in favor of the Dolphins, and CSI instead, a 9-0 run helps them to a 19-11 start.
Yeah, you know, it was an interesting first quarter, Dave. The Dolphins hit their first 2 threes to take a 6-0 lead. The Bearcats came back with 2 threes of their own to tie it at 6. The Dolphins go on a 13-3 run at that point, and then Baruch gets the last basket of the quarter to close at 19-11. Dolphins forcing 5 turnovers, playing good defensively, not shooting as well so far, just 7 of 19, but a good first quarter for the Dolphins as they lead by 8.
Yeah, Dolphins lead 19-11, and it's also their same lead in shots taken. The Dolphins have taken 19 shots. Baruch has only taken 11, and that's a product of good rebounding by the Dolphins defensively, and of course leading that turnover battle as well. 5-2 here at the end of 10 minutes of play. It was a fast-moving quarter, and here we go now in quarter number 2. Dolphins have the opening possession. They'll kick it around. Baruch in a 2-3 zone. Snyder now gives into the baseline. Camerlengo with a runner, no good. Offensive board won by Perrone. Perrone skips inside for a layup, no good. Another offensive rebound by Tadaro.
Yeah, the Dolphins out rebounding Baruch, 12-8 in that first quarter, now 14-8.
McEwen thought about a 3, gives up to Camerlengo instead. That was blocked, but an offensive rebound by Perrone. Gives over to Tadaro. 10 on the shot clock. McEwen. Inside give now to Perrone. Perrone turn around, no good. And finally a rebound by Baruch here. This is Zerpolo. Very familiar to Dolphin fans. Jenko for 3, no good, halfway down, and skips out. Camerlengo now running right side of the floor. Gives over to McEwen. Inside give to Perrone. Perrone turnaround layup, no good off the glass. Gets her own rebound. Layup is good, and it will count. No, on the floor. They call it on the rebound. So no basket for the Dolphins.
Yeah, I, tended to agree with you, Dave. I thought she was kind of in progress, but the official calls it off. But Perrone drawing another foul, Dave. That's the 4th foul that she's drawn in this game here in very limited minutes for Rosa. She's played 6 minutes and drawn 4 fouls, as you see those rebounding totals on your screen.
Yeah, Mike mentioned that they had a 12-8 edge at the end of the first quarter, so 5-1 here in the first minute and 6 of the second. McEwen gives up a 3, no good. Jenko gets the long rebound. So McEwen now 1 for 5 from the floor.
Dolphins 0 for 5 from the field, Dave, so far here in this second quarter.
Yeah, so they've got the offensive boards, just don't have the points to show for it so far. Baruch trying to crawl their way back in. Jenko. Inadvertent pass. It was tipped over to Mitchie. Nice play by Eberhardt, who has the ball back now. 5 on the shot clock remaining for Baruch. I'm not sure if they're aware, Mike, as Snyder will not get it off in time. Either way, I don't even think that hit the rim.
Yeah, the Dolphins, as we mentioned, Dave, just 7 of 25 from the field. That's 28%, but something they've done well all game long so far is play tough, tenacious defense, as neither team has scored so far here in this second quarter.
Yeah, Dolphins hit on 4 of their first 7 shots, and since then they've been 3 for 18 from the floor, so they have been cold. And they've been given that baseline jumper. Instead, Callie's left open, and she hits nothing but net. Another 3-pointer for the Dolphins, and they have doubled up on the Bearcats.
Yeah, first basket of the game for Jackie.
Dolphins are 4 of 10 from 3-point range. There's Jenko now. Mitchie, right-handed dribble. That one's intercepted by Callie. CSI going the other way, 3 against 3. They look inside of Rybisky. Now cross court, Camerlengo. McEwen. Baseline, and she is going to get called for an offensive foul. Sprinting on the baseline. Looked like she tried to create some space for herself, Mike, and she's going to get called for her second. Take a look at that 3 there by Jackie Callie.
Yeah, big 3-pointer there by Callie for the Dolphins, averaging over 7 points a game and really looking to get her on track offensively this year, Dave.
There's a foul by Brianna Rybisky. She can't believe it. That's going to be her first. Dolphins' second of the quarter. And Baruch with a quick break of the press. Nice job by the Bearcats there as Jenko has control. Waiting for her teammates to get into position. Now she resets the offense. Jenko moving to her left. Has Michie screening inside. Instead opts over to Snyder. Zerpolo fakes left, goes right, finds Michie in the corner. Baseline three, no good. Long rebound, skips over to Jenko.
Yeah, that time it's the Bearcats with the offensive rebound. Nice defensive play that time by Carolingo as she will force the travel.
Yeah, they call it travel on Zerpolo. I wasn't sure if that was blocked or not in any event. Turnover for Baruch, and Devin Mooney has come into the game for the Dolphins. He controls the basketball here. As the Dolphins get Megan McEwen a rare rest after she picked up her second. Camerlengo has Mooney wide open in the corner. There she is. That's going to be a two-point basket. No good. Tadaro gives over to Callie. Inside give to Tadaro. Wide open for the two.
Nice play that time by the Dolphins. Tadaro leads all scorers now. She has 8.
Dolphins employ the press. Zerpolo trying to get real estate, and she's going to be fouled by Christina Camerlengo, who had too much body in on Zerpolo in the corner, and we're going to have a timeout called by the Bearcats, and it will be a full timeout. So we will step aside and take a break right here. 6:16 left in the second quarter. CSI 24 and Baruch College 11. Stay with us. You're watching CSI Basketball right here on CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
Morning, Gary. We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you? You know you do. That's why we're here. We're free and here to guide you through every step of the way, starting with attendance. Gary, financial aid forms. Picking a college, man. You and us. We go together like tacos and Tuesday.
And I love tacos. Go to GetSchooled.com.
Welcome back here to the College of Staten Island. The CSI Dolphins comfortably ahead here, 14 minutes in, 24-11. We are at 6:16 left in the second quarter. And, Mike, we were talking on the break, the Bearcats seem like they're without their leading scorer tonight, Melinda Spayu. We talked about her in the opening. She scored 15 points the last time Baruch took the floor, so she's still on the active roster, just not here. And we've got a good look at everybody pretty much in uniform for the Bearcats. And Bearcats working without their leading scorer. That's been the story for them so far.
Yeah, and, you know, and another big story, Dave, the Bearcats have just gotten 13 shots up to the basket here in nearly 14 minutes of play. Dolphins have put up 28 shots so far.
Yeah, and the Bearcats putting up a shot there was Yee, no good. The Bearcats looking for their first points of the quarter. Dolphins outscoring them 5-0 here in this quarter. Camerlengo gives over to Callie. Callie back over to Camerlengo. Camerlengo for three, misses it wildly, no good. Jump ball. It will be Baruch's basketball. But the one thing, Mike, with this zone that Baruch is employing here defensively, they are leaving the corners wide open.
Yeah, they are. And, you know, the good news for them is that the Dolphins are just 9 of 28 from the field, but the Dolphins have had opportunities from the outside. And, you know, as you mentioned, the Bearcats giving those shots to the Dolphins so far.
Yeah, you take a look at the field goals on your screen, and the Dolphins with a wild advantage in shots taken. And there's another one that's halfway down and out by Michie. Dolphins have doubled up on the shots taken just about here. Diana Tadaro flashing inside off the glass, no good, but she will go to the free throw line. And it will be on Daniela Zerpolo. That'll be her second.
Yeah, Diana off to a great start tonight, Dave. 4 or 5 from the field, 6 rebounds and an assist already, and now she'll go to the free throw line to shoot 2.
64% free throw shooter is Diana. She hits the first. Dolphins are a perfect 3 for 3 from the free throw line. They're 4 of 11 from downtown and 5 of 18 from two-point range. So it's been a tougher shooting night for the Dolphins here. They're at 31%, but they remain perfect at the free throw line, and that's what Nicole Sarcone wants to see. 20 6-11 now is our score. The Dolphins have outscored Baruch in this quarter 7-0. Running jumper in the lane by Jenko, no good. Mbesi gets the rebound. Mbesi puts her head up, finds a wide open Rubisky. She finds Callie open for three. It's good. So it's now 29-11. Dolphins obviously with their biggest lead, and they are on a 10-0 run here over the first 5-10 of this quarter.
Yeah, it's 23-5, Dave, since this game was tied at 6.
And as a long jumper by Snyder, no good. Rebound, won by Rubisky. Dolphins starting to amass a big edge in rebounding as well here in this one. Rubisky finds Callie in the corner. Baseline, nice give inside to Mooney. She was fouled by Yee. And it will be Mooney going to the line. Mooney has not had a lot of attempts as we get another look at Callie's three-pointer that rattled in. Mooney 2 for 2 this season from the free throw line. Dolphins with a lot of high hopes for Devin Mooney. She fails on that attempt, but we'll get another one here as Elena DeMontro has come into the game replacing Brianna Rubisky, who's had good minutes here for the Dolphins. Rubisky playing 10 minutes coming off of the bench. Mooney's second free throw is good, and the Dolphins are up 30-11, biggest lead, 19 points. And their run now goes to 11-0 in this quarter. Jenko to Snyder. Snyder up top to Eberhardt. Mitchie, Yee. Baruch finding it hard to get a ball inside here. Continue to work it around the perimeter. Jenko finding Mitchie. Mitchie's going to unleash a long two. No good. Ball out of play, and it was last touched by Eberhardt. So with 4:02 remaining in the second, Baruch's about to hit the 6-minute mark without a point.
0 for 7 from the field, Dave, for the Bearcats to go along with 3 turnovers.
Yeah, now they're shooting just 22% overall from the floor. Mbesi to Callie. Mooney to Tadaro. I don't think Tadaro knew how open she was. Elena DeMontro for 3. DeMontro's had a hot stroke too, Mike. She's really flashed that three-pointer all season long. She's an even 50% from three-point range coming in. Limited attempts, obviously. That one skips away from Jenko. She's fronted by Mooney. And there's the shot by Yee, but Yee was fouled by DeMontro, who got there a little bit late. Good call. And Yee will go to the line to shoot 3.
Yeah, and, DeMontro's played some good minutes for the Dolphins as of late and got off to a good start with that first three-point shot, and now we'll pick up her first personal foul.
Take a look at the graphic on your screen. This could be Baruch's first points of the quarter, and it will be. 3:21 remaining, so 6 minutes and 39 seconds that Baruch was idle on the scoreboard and able to cut into that CSI lead. Yee will have 2 more attempts. Second one is in. Millie Yee has made 8 starts this season for Baruch. Came off the bench today. She is one of 7 freshmen on this Baruch College team. 3 sophomores. So you talk about a young bunch. This is it. Devin Mooney, after all 3 free throws were scored, CSI resets their half-court offense. DeMontro up top to Mooney. Mooney barks out some signals, drops over to Callie. Callie working towards her left. Stops at the top of the arc. The three-pointer is good.
Yeah, the Dolphins have been waiting all year long for Jackie to start heating up from the outside, and she's now hit her last 3-pointers. She's 3 of 4 from the three-point line and has 9 points.
And the Dolphins are now 7 of 14 from three-point range. That's an even 50%, obviously. And, Mike, they're just 5 of 18 everywhere else.
Yeah, strange night shooting for the Dolphins, but, really good to see Jackie, who's played well defensively and has rebounded the basketball well all year long and starting to heat up a little bit offensively.
Emily Rivera has checked in for the Bearcats. Mitchie asking for some help, gets it in the form of Yee. Yee left open. Defensive breakdown for the Dolphins, and Yee cans the 3. And now Baruch cuts the lead to 19. Yee with the last 6 for the Bearcats. Mooney drops over to Callie. Callie barking out signals, looks inside to Tadero. Tadero fronting up, hits glass, no good. And loose ball foul, that's going to be called against Mbesi. That's our first.
Yeah, and that's going to be the 15th foul for the Dolphins, Dave, so I believe we'll have free throws upcoming.
Yeah, we got another look at Callie's draining of the three at the top of the arc there. That's the good look at a confident shooter that last time out. Both teams shooting well from the free throw line, as you see in front of you. Yee perfect at the line so far. Now she's 4 for 4. Get a chance to talk about her a little bit more. She is averaging 5.4 points per game, so she's already up over that here. Has scored the last 7 Baruch points. And another free throw is good. Yee 16 of 21 from the free throw line this season.
She has all of Baruch's points here, Dave, in the second quarter.
36-19. The lead is now cut to 17. And Bessie to Callie. Callie receives the screen, goes over to Tadero, turnaround jumper, no good. And Snyder scores the rebound. Here comes Baruch looking to run. They've got some numbers. 4-on-2 the other way. Drop over to Yee. Back to Snyder. She loses it, and we'll have to reset the offense. Snyder fakes left, goes right. Tadero's going to get guilty of a reach. Unnecessary reach that time by Diana Tadero.
Yeah, and, you know, that's the kind of foul, Dave, that you usually get called on, even if you don't make any contact with the opposing player. It didn't look like there was that much contact, but it was such a lunge by Tadero that she picks up her first personal of the afternoon.
Snyder has had her difficulties from the free throw line this season, Mike, just 3 of 11.
Yeah, and a Bearcat team that uncharacteristically, Dave, just 59% from the line as a team.
And a second of 2 is good for Snyder. So now the lead cut to 16. 36-20. DeMontro has Perone posting up. She wanted the ball, doesn't get it. Mbesi instead gives over to Callie on the right. She's going to dribble left. Gains the lane off the glass, no good. Emily Rivera with the rebound. Jenko now finds Yee in the lane, skips off her fingertips into the arms of Mbesi. Touchdown pass to Callie. It's too strong and too far to Callie's right. So we're approaching 1 minute remaining here in the first half. Kayla Schmitter, who played very briefly in the first quarter, was picked up first 2 fouls of the game, only played 5 minutes, is back in.
An important minute and 8 seconds here for the Bearcats as they try to creep their way back into the game.
Now they give us to Jenko. Jenko, turn around, finding Snyder. Snyder unleashes for 3, no good, back iron, and the rebound won by Perone. Perone finds Mbesi. Mbesi looking for some assistance. Picks up her head, finds Perone, but Perone had it caught in her legs and midsection and was guilty of the travel. Dolphins have been doing a good job thus far protecting the basketball, Mike. That was only their 5th turnover of the game, as you see the numbers on your screen.
A couple of turnovers on their last couple of possessions.
So Baruch, again, with a chance to cut into the lead before halftime. Mitchie, who's been unlucky of sorts, she drives inside. She's going to get called for the offensive foul against Rosa Perone. That's another foul that Rosa Perone has drawn, Mike.
Yeah, Dave, I think that's at least the 5th that she's drawn here tonight, and that time, willing to sacrifice her body to pick up the foul, and it'll be the Dolphins basketball on the turnover, a 1.8-second differential on the shot clock to the game clock.
CSI hasn't scored in 2.5 minutes, so they're looking to break a little bit of a cold spell here. One of their last 5 from the floor to give over to Mbesi. Mbesi moving to her left, finds some real estate, drops over to Schmitter. Schmitter from the free throw line looked inside. We're going to have a late whistle and a foul, as that'll be on Yee. And, Mike, I'm not sure if Schmitter was trying to shoot or pass that, but they're going to call it a shooting foul. She's going to get to the line. Doesn't matter. They were over the limit anyway.
Yeah, I think she was trying to shoot on that play, Dave, and you could hear Michael Kochados, the head coach of Baruch, let out a pained scream from over here on this side of the floor. A tough call on a tough shot by Schmitter, who goes to the line to shoot 2 and misses the first.
And she gets her first point of the game with that one and breaks a CSI spell of over 240 without a basket or without a point. Baruch's got 6 seconds in which to get a shot up. Snyder left open for 3. It's a long three-pointer, no good. Front iron. CSI will hold from there, and they will take a 17-point lead into the locker room.
Yeah, a couple of opportunities for the Bearcats to creep their way back into the game in the later stages of that second quarter, but a good job overall by the Dolphins once again, Dave, as they have a big 17-point lead going into halftime.
And we'll wait to see if we get joined here by a member of the CSI coaching staff as they are conferencing over by their sideline. Dolphins were up by 8 at the end of 1. They're up by 17 at the end of 2. So they've been consistent through 2 quarters and have themselves a 37-20 lead. Mike, we knew on paper they were going to be the overwhelming favorite, and they've kind of lived up to the billing. They're doing a great job on the glass, great job forcing turnovers. Their shooting could be better, but they're handling things.
Yeah, they're playing a very solid game here this afternoon, Dave. And, we mentioned a couple of times this game was tied at 6, but since then the Dolphins have really been able to open things up and, pull out in front. They're using their size inside. They've out-rebounded Baruch here so far 25-14 and have a big lead going into halftime.
Okay, we're going to be joined by CSI assistant coach Kelsey Carey. Kelsey, tell me a little bit about your early impressions here through 2 quarters.
I definitely think we're coming out with a lot of energy. The first few minutes weren't very good. I think we are a little sleepy, for lack of better words, but I think we're picking it up. We're really happy with their defense and their switches right now because that's something we've been struggling with. So I think they're doing a pretty consistent job with that, and we're happy with that.
Seems like size is definitely to your advantage in this game. Seems like the job on the boards is getting done pretty well. You have a sizable advantage on the glass. What do you think the team is doing well in that area?
Well, our post players are doing a great job with the boards. We told them, if we out-rebound the other team, it's very hard to beat. So I think our girls are doing a really good job. They need to stay with that. We definitely need to get them more touches inside just to open up the overall offense. But so far, so good.
Coach, in that first half, especially in that second quarter, Jackie Callie really starting to heat up from the three-point line, something the Dolphins have been looking for all year long. 3 for 3 in that second quarter from the three-point line.
Yeah, I mean, Jackie, she's a shooter. She obviously has been struggling a little bit this season, but something like that, shooters shoot. She's going to keep shooting, and hopefully the percentage stays what it is right now.
All right, so, Coach, you have a big lead going into halftime. What do you do in the locker room to make sure the team stays crisp through the next 2 quarters?
Well, before the game, we told them no matter who the opponent is, no matter what the score is, we need to stick to the way CSI women's basketball plays. So, the score doesn't matter. You come out, look at it as if it's 0-0. Come out like it's the beginning of the game, play the way we know how to play.
Excellent. Coach, good luck second half.
Yeah, thank you guys so much.
You got it. CSI assistant coach Kelsey Carey, thankful to have her on. So, obviously, Mike, CSI getting it done through 20 minutes, looking for a promising next 20. What we will do is we will step aside, take a break. When we come back, we'll analyze some halftime stats, and we'll get you ready for the second half right here live from the College of Staten Island. So Dolphins 37, the Bearcats 20 here on CSI Women's Basketball, CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
Here she comes. I, Krista, take you, Jamie, to be my wife.
The ceremony was a blast. It was just like this surreal moment of my dreams are coming true. When we found out that we were pregnant, we were just elated. We were just sitting there waiting for the pediatrician. She said, "Oh, I apologize. She won't be taking you in as a client." We are a lesbian couple, but she's just a baby. She's the one you're denying the service to. And sitting there in that small, cold room, I wanted to cry, just thinking, what did we bring this kid into? We're simply asking to treat our family the same way that you would treat any family.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
So we were walking to school. At the corner, we waited for the traffic light. I started thinking about lunch. Mom packed me turkey and cheese.
She's
I really
smart,
want cheese pizza,
but
like at Luigi's.
sometimes her mind
They have this
wanders.
video game there, and Kate's got the high score. We should have a sleepover. Maybe I should pack my pajamas.
I remember saying, Laura? Laura?
I think I heard Mom say something.
The sign says don't walk.
Sometimes it's so overwhelming.
When we finally got there,
she gave me a hug goodbye.
I really hope she doesn't
I
have
really
another
hope I
bad
don't
day
have
at
another
school
bad day at
today.
school today.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. That's why there's Understood.org, a free online resource for the parents of the 1 in 5 kids with learning and attention issues. Here you'll get personalized recommendations, practical tips, daily access to experts, and more. Go from misunderstanding to Understood.org.
Be right back.
Hi! You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. If you're probably sober, then why would you do that? Good choice.
Probably okay isn't okay. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
That's a full glass of wine. I'll be chatting you later.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Good kisses. Good kisses. You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
I got a creak in my neck, limp in my step, cramping in my muscles every time I try to flex. But that I don't wanna get on. It's very sad when all that I could do was remember you. You know I usually stay now, but if you throw me love, I'll throw you some more.
Hi, I'm Peter, and there's nothing I love more than sharing vegetables with my friends. Come on in! Help yourself to anything. That's why we give our food the utmost respect it deserves. Did you know there are simple steps we can all take to help save food? You can cook it, store it, even share it. Just don't waste it. Because when it comes to food, better ate than never. To learn more, visit SaveTheFood.com.
I remember, Dad, you and Mom got this car with a hatchback. I said, you know, I'd be happy to give you the money to get a really great car. And he said, well, no, this works for me. I says, why? Because it's the right height to put the meals in. Dad, tell me when you first got an inkling about Meals on Wheels.
There was kind of an abandoned house. That's where we got started with Meals on Wheels. We kind of filled a need for people as they got older.
It's the human interaction that probably fed them much more than the food.
Oh, yeah. When you can see somebody else benefiting by your life in some way, you can't help but feel good about it, I think.
Well, the reason I'm involved, Dad, is because you are, and you're so inspiring. How you've impacted people is enormous.
Drop off a warm meal and get more than you expect. Volunteer at americaletsdolunch.org.
America, let's do lunch.
Dad is an adventure full of special moments.
A cruise?
Surprise!
Unexpected moments.
I got this.
And even awkward moments.
Okay, Dad, thank you.
But every moment you spend with your kids, even the smallest moments, can make the biggest impact on your child's life. So take a moment to be a dad today.
Welcome back here to the CSI Sports and Recreation Center, otherwise known as the Tank, where the CSI Dolphins right now are the owners of a 17-point halftime lead. The first of two games here between the CSI Dolphins and the Baruch College Bearcats. We are in installment number one, the women's first half of play. Mike, we're going to take a look at the halftime statistics in just a moment here, and we'll see that the Dolphins have this their lead for a reason.
Yeah, you know, Dave, you look at the way the Dolphins came out and played in that first half, out-rebounding Baruch 25-14. As you can see, putting up 35 shots compared to just 21 for the Bearcats, and, you know, 7 of 14 from the three-point line, including Jackie Callie hitting all 3 of her three-point attempts in that second quarter, and, you know, just turning the ball over 5 times compared to 10 for the Bearcats. So, you know, Dolphins doing a nice job taking care of the basketball, you know, getting balanced scoring. Tadero leading the team with 10 points, and really just a good all-around solid first half for the Dolphins as they have a 17-point lead.
Yeah, you notice that the field goal percentage is not as strong as where CSI would like it to be, but because they've gotten up 14 more shots than Baruch, that's just a lot of second chance opportunities and a lot of you know, unempty possessions, if you will, and the Dolphins shooting the ball better from three-point range than they are from two-point range. They are 5 of 21 from two-point range. So obviously some things to get sorted out, but as you heard from assistant coach Kelsey Carey, they want to continue to be crisp here in the second half. Obviously, anytime you're spotted a 17-point lead at halftime, Mike, tendency is to kind of play down a little bit. Dolphins actually need to pick up their pace a little bit as far as the shooting is concerned.
Yeah, you know, I'm sure that if you speak to head coach Nicole Sarcone, she'd like the team to play a little bit better, especially on the inside. But, you know, you look at Rosa Perone, and she picks up 7 rebounds and a block shot and, you know, drew at least 6 fouls in that first half. And, you know, although she's struggling from the floor a little bit, she still played pretty effectively in that first half. Diana Tadero with another efficient first half. And, you know, Dolphins looking to get Kayla Schmitter on track a little bit more in the second half as well.
Yeah, Schmitter was sidelined a great deal because of foul trouble. She picked up 2 in the opening 5 minutes. The Dolphins had at one point a 22-point lead. That was their biggest lead of the game, and that's now down to 17. We have about 2 minutes left here at halftime. Mike, let's talk about switch gears a little bit. Let's talk about Game 2 of our CSI versus Baruch doubleheader. Of course, we will go off of the air here on CSI Sportsnet, and then you will be back on the air in a separate broadcast that's on CSIDolphins.com/CSI Sportsnet. Scroll down and you'll see the game that's coming up next. It's men's basketball. Approximate tip right now is 7:30. We'll have an update on time for you as this one draws to a close, but it should be an exciting one. 2 teams right at the top of the table, 2 teams that are expected to be there come playoff time. Pretty much a lot of people think this will be the first of 3 matchups this season between these 2 teams.
Well, you know, Dave, these 2 teams met each other 3 times last year, including the Dolphins' 10-point win in the semifinals against Baruch College. They split both regular season contests, and, you know, both teams have come out very strong here to start the year. The Bearcats still undefeated in conference play. The Dolphins just with that 1 loss against John Jay. A huge swing game in the standings, Dave, as a lot of these conference games tend to be once you get into the middle of January.
Yeah, you see it on your screen. Baruch and Staten Island, the only 2 teams that have recorded double digits in victories overall, and you can see how they are scored 1-2 right at the top of the CUNY Conference. And, you know, what's interesting about the men's and the women's obviously their standings is that the 8-game mark is the halfway mark. That means you've played every team in the conference at least once, and so it's by the end of tonight, the Dolphins would have seen every team one go around. They have a lot of home games in the second half of their season as well, so should be pretty exciting. And if judging by the first round of competition, Mike, the second round should be very exciting, and I think on the men's and the women's side, when it comes time for the postseason, it's going to be pretty heated.
It will be, Dave, and that second half of the season will begin this Saturday here at the Tank, as both the men and the women will face CCNY in the games that we will have for you, of course, right here on CSI Sportsnet. But, the games start coming fast and furious now, Dave, and, it's hard to believe, but, we're now going to get into the second half of the conference schedule this Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. Saturday, Mike will be here with you for the doubleheader. The women's game against CCNY is the CUNY game of the week, so that should be pretty exciting.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that, Dave.
The Dolphins will have the opening possession here of the second half as we get you set for quarters 3 and 4 right here from CSI. Clock is in, and Megan McEwen controls. McEwen also with a very quiet first half. Only 3 points in 14 minutes. Shot just 1 of 5 from the floor. This is Perrone. Callie, once again, wide open. Baseline 3, no good. Back iron. Mitchie gets the rebound. So Mitchie scores the rebound. It's her first of the game. Gives over to Snyder. Snyder in the baseline layup attempt, no good. And Perrone scores the rebound.
Snyder's shown some good moves, Dave, but she's just 1 of 9 shooting from the field so far here tonight.
Perrone with just 1 point tonight, but she's got 8 rebounds. Now she turns around, and she's going to travel, so a turnover for the Dolphins.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was going to be a travel or a 3-second violation there, Dave. As Rosa in the lane a little bit long before receiving the ball.
Yeah, Jenko controls first, gives over to Emily Rivera. Snyder, Jemko. Again, Rivera stepping into one is Jackie Callie. 1-on-1 against Mitchie. Drives in, puts up a layup, no good. Late whistle, and she's going to get to the free throw line as Mitchie gets called for the foul. That'll be her second. And Jackie Callie will be at the free throw line. Callie has really struggled from the line, Mike, just 40% this season. And she gets here often. 18 of 44, make that 19 of 45.
Yeah, it really is a mystery, Dave. She's such a good outside shooter, but really has had her struggles from the free throw line.
She shot it well today. 3 of 5 from three-point range. She misses the second of 2. 3 of 7 overall from the floor. But the Dolphins have the first points of their third quarter here and the first points of the quarter. 1 minute and 10 seconds in. This is Mitchie. Mitchie to her right gives over for Zappolo. Zappolo has it intercepted by Callie. Off the deflection. Gives over to McEwen. McEwen off the glass and in.
Second turnover that Callie gathered up here, Dave, in the first 90 seconds leads to an easy Dolphin basket and a 20-point lead.
In the second quarter, the Dolphins scored the first 11 points, and now in the third quarter, Dolphins have scored the first 3. Emily Rivera left open, jumper, back iron, no good. Long rebound, won by Rivera. Gives over to Snyder, steps back, right at the line, no good. And Tadaro scores the rebound. For Tadaro, that's her 7th. This is Perrone off the glass. Nice give by McEwen. Timeout call by Baruch. And we'll wait to see. It is a full timeout, so we will step aside, take a break. The Dolphins have matched their biggest lead of the game. It's 42-20 here in the third quarter. Stay with us. You're watching CSI Women's Basketball right here on CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
This is why you took a second job. While you taught yourself how to fix the plumbing. While you'll do whatever it takes to keep your home. And that is why we want to help. We are making home affordable, a free government resource that can make paying the mortgage easier. Call 888-995-HOPE today.
This one.
Split box.
Welcome back here to the CSI Tank. The CSI women's basketball team has matched their biggest lead here in the early stages of the third quarter. They are up by 22, 42-20. As you get another look at that last sequence as Jackie Callie finds a wide open Megan McEwen. And for McEwen, who had a tough shooting performance in the first half, that's a nice confidence builder. McEwen, the team leader in points per game this season with just over 15, has 5 in this one. And Baruch controls here following the timeout by head coach Michael Katrozos. Give over to Zerpolo. Played well in the first half. Zerpolo receives a screen, and we're going to get a foul, offensive foul on Emily Rivera. So for Rivera, that will be her first personal foul.
And you know, Dave, the Bearcats really needed to get off into a fast start here. Instead, they've gone 0 of 3 from the field already and now just picked up another turnover. And Dolphins with an opportunity now to get their biggest lead of the afternoon.
So McEwen now swings over to Callie. Callie with Perrone fronting near the free throw line, drops off underneath. They give back over to McEwen, and Bessie left open top of the arc, no good, just inside three-point range. Another offensive rebound for the Dolphins. It's McEwen. McEwen with her second rebound. Mbessi, Tadaro, Mbessi again. Drop down low to Tadaro. Corner, wide open. Callie for 3!
Jackie continuing her big day this afternoon, Dave. Now she leads all scorers with 13.
And she is 4 for 6 from three-point range. Mitchie thought about going inside. Intercepted by Tadaro. Here comes Tadaro the other way. She left-handed layup is good.
10-0 run for the Dolphins now in the third quarter, Dave. You mentioned before they had an 11-0 run to start the second quarter.
And Baruch's last basket was with 2:40 left in the second quarter, so they're now on a 5.5-minute spell without a basket. Jenko goes around the horn to Yee. Yee swings over to Snyder. Mitchie for 3, off the glass and in.
Yeah, the Bearcats finally getting on the board here in this second half.
Mitchie's first basket of the evening. She's 1 for 3 from three-point range. Breaks, as Mike mentioned, a 10-0 run to start the quarter. McEwen thought about a 3, steps in, gets it back, and she was, looked like her back heel might have been on the sideline, Mike. We'll see about that as we'll probably get a replay from Nick Durst. Well, this is going back to Callie's three-pointer, but again, left wide open, and Callie's been draining them tonight from 3. Jenko will control for Baruch. Dolphins with a 24-point lead and almost intercepted by McEwen, but then Yee could not control. So another turnover for the Bearcats. That's turnover number 15.
Yeah, tough. Sorry, Dave. Tough play that time. All Yee had to do was let it go out of bounds, but she put her hand on the basketball, and the Dolphins get it back once again.
Cross court now. Callie over to Mbessi. Thought about a long 2. Drops off to Tadaro on the baseline. She resets. Goes across to Mbessi, to Callie. Callie thought about a 3. Looks inside. Drop off to Perrone. Short jumper. No good. Offensive rebound. McEwen off the glass and in.
Second offensive rebound here in this third quarter by McEwen as the Dolphins continue to extend their lead.
26 points now, the lead. Dolphins' biggest was 27. Intercepted once again by Tadaro. Skipped off of Jenko. This is McEwen up. She was fouled hard by Snyder. And McEwen does get up under her own power. Good sign for the Dolphins. For Snyder, that will be personal foul number 2. McEwen, excellent from the free throw line, Mike. 77%. 59 of 77. First is no good. She gets the old Pizzuto jinx.
Yeah,
works every time.
It does, and you know, Dave, you like having your ball handler be a good free throw shooter, and Megan does provide that. Even though I guess I jinxed her on that one as she misses the pair.
I'm never mentioning free throw percentages again, as we have another foul on the would-be rebound, and it was on Snyder. So Snyder going in for the rebound gets called quickly for another foul. So the Dolphins will get possession after all of that.
And that's her third. Her and Rivera both with 3 fouls for the Bearcats.
McEwen for 3 on the baseline. That's good. So you miss 2 free throws. You come right back and hit a baseline 3. This is Yee left open on the baseline. Her shot was blocked by Perone. And now this is Callie the other way. Dolphins with their biggest lead of the night, looking to add onto it. McEwen for three, no good. Rebound, it's loose, won by Snyder as Tadero tried to save it going out of bounds. Dolphins by 29 here as Perone gets spilled, and another drawn foul by Rosa Perone.
Yeah, nice job by Rosa that time as she got plowed into, and, you know, she sacrificed the body a couple of times tonight, Dave, to pick up offensive fouls on the Bearcats.
And Baruch now with 5 fouls in this quarter. The Dolphins get with a foul here. So any whistle against Baruch will put CSI at the line. Dolphins came into this third quarter up by 17. They're up by 29. Now it's Camerlengo off the glass and in. She had checked in momentarily, and as an errant pass, Zerpolo wasn't expecting it from Jenko. We're going to have another timeout. This will be a 30-second timeout called by Baruch as Baruch head coach Michael Katrozos seeing this one get out of hand here as Baruch has been outscored by 14 in this quarter. The Dolphins, Mike, after shooting 34% at halftime, shooting 64% in this third quarter.
Yeah, and you know, you look at the stats and they're pretty grim if you're a Bearcat fan. They've already turned the ball over 7 times, Dave, here in this third quarter. And, you know, once again, they started out scoring slowly. Dolphins have outscored them 17-3. And, you know, Dolphins continuing to put a lot of pressure on this team. You look at the turnover battle and, you know, Dolphins really starting to put a lot of pressure on this Bearcat team. And, you know, probably have already opened the game up to a point where it'll be, you know, pretty difficult for the Bearcats to work their way back in as that time Schmitter missed the layup.
Yeah, Schmitter with a wide open layup underneath, had a body near her, and McEwen's going to get called for a foul. I don't agree with that one as Jemko kind of turned around and spun right into Megan McEwen, and she was there to strip it. In any event, it's McEwen's third foul, as Yee will do the inbounding. This is Caitlin Rivera, who also saw very limited action. Turnover, and that time Megan McEwen is there to scoop it up. Off the glass and in.
Yeah, McEwen continuing to play well, Dave. 9 points here in this third quarter after having just 3 at halftime.
Dolphins continuing to build their biggest lead. They're on a 9-0 run. Jenko receives a screen from Ebelhout is called with the screen. So as we see that turnover there, Perone provided pressure. McEwen did as well, and then she finished it all off.
You know, Dave, we mentioned just a moment ago the Bearcats with 10 turnovers at halftime. Already 10 turnovers here in less than 6 minutes of this third quarter. They now have 20 for the game. They average just over 21 on the year. And, you know, that's really a function of really a suffocating Dolphin defense here tonight. And the Bearcats struggling without their leading scorer.
Yeah, and the Dolphins have nearly doubled what was their halftime lead of 17 points. It's now 33 as Baruch comes the other way following the turnover. And Snyder with a nice pretty move, right-handed layup. Mike mentioned the turnovers. There they are on your screen. As we get Camerlengo left open, she drops in on the baseline. No good. Back iron. Long rebound. Won by Snyder. And now Baruch needing to make up some points quickly. Get themselves back involved. Turnover on Yee. That's the 21st turnover now.
Yeah, that one pretty unforced, Dave. It was just a case of, you know, Millie not gathering up and getting the ball to the floor before starting a drive to the basket.
So McEwen controls here, barking out the half-court orders. She receives a screen from Schmitter, gives over to Camerlengo. She's unguarded from 3, and it's good.
Camerlengo hitting her last 2 shots after missing her first 5. She now has 5 points for the Dolphins.
The Dolphins are now 10 of 19 from three-point range, over the 50% mark. This is Snyder coming in on the inside, that time with the left hand, putting it up and in. Dolphins lead cut to 32. Brianna Robisky had come into the game as well, along with Camerlengo. Schmitter provides a screen to Camerlengo. finding McEwen. McEwen for three. It's good.
Continuing her red-hot shooting here in the third quarter, Dave. She now leads all scorers with 15.
Yeah, she had 2 at the half. 3 at the half, excuse me. There's Jemko getting fouled in the act of shooting. She scores the basket, and she will go to the line to shoot 1. There's another look. That's Camerlengo's open look three-pointer. Dolphins making it look easy at this point. They are 11 of 20 from three-point range.
You know, Dave, one of the things you really like about this CSI Dolphin team is the way their freshman players and their first-year players play with such a degree of confidence. Even when they're not necessarily hitting their shots, they still continue to play with confidence. Camerlengo, a perfect example of that, missing her first 5, continuing to play hard, continuing to shoot, and getting her last 2 baskets.
Yeah, Kayla Schmitter came down with another block as well, but the Dolphins turn it over the other way. Lena Batar has come into the game for the Dolphins, her first action of the evening. The Dolphins go with Mooney, Batar, Rabisky, Camerlengo, and Schmitter. Very young unit out on the floor for the Dolphins. Trying to drive inside with Jemka. She was denied. Snyder, top of the arc, receives a screen from Ebelhout, and Ebelhout's just kind of driving in with that screen, Mike. That's a no-no.
Yeah, you know, they're just not going to let players move on those screens, and that's 2 or 3 times here in this quarter, Dave, where the Bearcats have gotten called for that.
Yeah, and that also counts as a turnover as well as a foul, so you see them on your screen. Baruch over double, more than double, as Zerpolo's able to take one away from Rabisky. Daniela Zerpolo, cross-court pass to Jenko. She's double-teamed. Ebelhout puts one up from 3. No good. It was short. Was it touched by the Dolphins? No, it was not. And CSI will get it back as Millie Yee will return for Ebelhout. 91 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Dolphins seemingly with this one in hand. Looking to stay sharp and crisp here through the final stages of the third quarter into the fourth. Rabisky controls. She now drives in, 1 against 2 off the glass, no good. Gets her own rebound, and she's going to draw the foul as a result. Daniela Zerpolo will get called for the foul against Baruch. That's her 3rd.
Yeah, that she'll be the 4th Bearcat player, Dave, with 3 personal fouls. Snyder with 3, along with Yee and Rivera.
Rabisky has been a great X factor this season for the Dolphins. She's averaging just over 4 points per game. She's been very good from the free throw line, now up over 74%. She's got 4 points tonight, matches her season average. Second free throw, good. And the Dolphins back up by 35. Snyder controls now. She's been driving the last few times down the floor. Now she pulls up, spot jumper, short distance, no good. Batar is on the stat sheet, gets herself a rebound. Batar skipped her feet a little bit. I don't think she was expecting that pass, Mike.
Yeah, she wasn't, and she caught it and dragged that pivot foot a little bit, and Dolphins turned the ball over inside a minute in the third quarter.
For the Dolphins, that's their 12th turnover of the game. Mitchie controls for Baruch. 25-second differential between shot and game. Jenko working against Camerlengo. Zerpolo. Left-handed dribble, and then spots up. Nice jumper from the, closing in on the elbow. And we have under 30 to play, so about a 1 second differential here. Dolphins could conceivably hold for the final shot. Rabisky was looking inside, now opts to dribble. Cuts inside to a streaking Batar, and she puts the layup in.
Nice move that time by Batar as she gets her first points of the game for the Dolphins.
Yeah, Batar with points 13 and 14 of the season for her. Snyder with 5 on the shot clock skips over to Mitchie. Mitchie for 3, no good. Batar scores the rebound, and that'll do it for our third quarter. So through 3 quarters, the Dolphins made a 17-point lead at the half into a 35-point lead at the end of 3. There you see it on your screen. We'll get ready for the final 10. Coming up next, it's the Dolphins 66, the Bearcats 31. Stay with us.
You make me wear my bike helmet. taught me never to run with scissors. You tell me to stay away from drugs.
To always buckle my seatbelt. And to follow the swimming rules. You're always looking out for me and trying to keep me safe.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer?
Here in the garage.
Closet. Shoebox. Under the bed. Where anyone can get to it. How safe is that?
How safe is that?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. In fact, they're counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. If you own a firearm and are not using it, please be responsible and be sure that it's stored in a safe place. Remember, always, lock it up. For more information on firearm storage safety, visit ncpc.org.
Welcome back to the Tank here on the campus of the College of Staten Island. Getting ready for the final 10 minutes here of regulation. The Dolphins comfortably in control, 66-31 over Baruch. Mike, they took a 37-20 lead going into the end of the second quarter, and they just erupted in the third.
Yeah, erupted is the right word, Dave. 29 points in that third quarter, by far their best scoring output of the afternoon as the Dolphins came out, shot 11 of 18 in that third quarter, including 4 of 6 from the three-point line to blow this game open and give us 10 minutes of scrimmage time here in the fourth quarter.
We'll get a good look at some young players for the Dolphins, I'm sure, in this one. They open up with Camerlengo, Mooney, Robisky, Batar, and Schmitter. And there's a nice kiss off the glass by Caitlin Rivera, who's been very quiet since entering into foul trouble in the first half.
And, of course, Dave, if you're the Bearcats here, your goal is to win this fourth quarter.
Absolutely. Something to hang your hat on coming out of this game, obviously. A young and developing team. We knew that going in. Lena Batar is fouled, and it's going to be against number 40, Caitlin Rivera. I believe that'll be her fourth. So Rivera just has been very limited. She's only played 7 minutes. And Batar has had a very eventful couple of minutes for the Dolphins. 1 for 1 from the floor. She's got a couple of rebounds. She'll have a chance here for 2 shots via the free throw line. The first one is short and is no good. Batar for the season 0 for 6 from the free throw line.
And the Dolphins running a couple of plays for Batar, Dave, that led to shots inside the paint as she hits her first free throw of the year.
Of the season, yeah, 1 for 7. And that's the one thing about Nicole Sarkona and her teams, Mike. They've got to be able to make free throws late in games if you want to earn minutes, because those are some very valuable points. Maybe not in a game like this, but certainly down the stretch in the big ones. Zerpolo gets the ball handed off to her from Yee, and she scores the basket and will go to the line for the foul.
Yeah, and, Daniela Zappolo with the basket now. She has 6 points for the Bearcats, and, we mentioned it a little bit earlier, Dave, but, of course, Daniela, a former CSI Dolphin.
Yeah, CUNY champion with the CSI women's soccer team and played, of course, for CSI women's basketball. Very sweet young lady, Mike. We've had a chance to talk to her many times. And she's having herself a nice evening here tonight. That was her 7th point of the night.
Yeah, and really a big part of that CSI women's soccer team, and, always an effective player for the Dolphins. And, we certainly wish her luck as a Bearcat.
Yeah, we got another look at her drive in for the jumper as Camerlengo will now get a turn at the free throw line. Camerlengo 2 for 4 from the stripe this season. Very limited looks here from the free throw line, getting extended minutes obviously as the season continues along. Makes the first. Camerlengo tonight with 6 points. She's also added a rebound and an assist, but she's played 14 minutes. Second free throw, good. And Dolphins have been good from the line tonight. 67%.
11 players have scored for the Dolphins here tonight, Dave, so a lot of players getting an opportunity for some playing time.
Yeah, and, Mike, we didn't even mention the fact that the Dolphins have added a player coming into this game, number 11, Tori Moylan. We'll see if we see her today. Second semester from Notre Dame Academy.
Boy, and I wasn't sure if that wasn't going to be an offensive foul, Dave, as it looked like the elbow was kind of stuck out a little bit by both players. Instead, The foul will be on the Dolphins as Batar will pick up her first foul.
So Snyder with a fresh 30-second shot clock will work it over to Zappolo. Almost lost the handle, able to get it back. Barrels in for the baseline jumper. She was fouled. So Batar with a couple of quick fouls here. That's her second. And Zappolo will go to the line. She's 1 for 1 from the free throw line. She's been perfect from the floor, 3 for 3. 1 for 1 from the stripe. She's had a steal, a couple of blocks. Nice evening put up by the former Dolphin. She stays perfect. Point number 8 of the game for Daniela.
They're now 9 of 12 from the free throw line. The Bearcats at 75%.
Second free throw is good. Cuts the lead to 31. Mooney controls. She hands right off to Robisky. Robisky drops it over to Schmitter. Schmitter back up top for Mooney. We got 15 on the shot clock. Barking out signals. Offensive foul on Lena Batar. Thought she stayed pretty stationary there, Mike. But
yeah, the officials have really been calling that here, Dave, in the later stages of the game. The Bearcats have gotten called for it at least 3 times, and now the Dolphins will turn the ball over on Batar's third personal of the game.
You see them on your screen there, the turnovers. The Dolphins have the advantage 22-13. Jumper is short. Not sure if it was partially blocked by Elena DeMontro. In any event, she's controlling here. Gives it over to Mooney. Schmitter, left open, 3-point range. She's not going to take that. Batar, over to DeMontro. Back to Schmitter. She spots up. Baseline three-pointer. No good. Rivera with the rebound.
Yeah, Kayla now 0 for 3 on the afternoon from the field.
Now Snyder for 3. No good. Batar with the rebound. Yeah, for Schmitter tonight, down game for her. Just 1 point. That was earned, obviously, at the free throw line. There's a takeaway by Snyder and a quick foul by Mooney. The Dolphins getting a little sloppy there. Dolphins with yet another turnover, so that's their 14th of the game. And it will be Snyder going right to the line. You take a look at the free throw shooting for both teams. Both teams efficient enough, but Baruch, of course, shooting with the higher percentage. First is good. Cuts the Dolphins' lead to 30.
Yeah, the Dolphins haven't scored from the field here in the fourth quarter, Dave. 3 of 4 from the free throw line. Those are their only points here in the fourth.
Yep. And Snyder does make her free throws, so that cuts the lead a little bit further. Lola Plamenko has come into the game for the Dolphins. She's a long ball threat as well. Gives underneath to Schmitter. Turnaround layup, no good. And Rivera gets the rebound. Snyder now works the controls. Snyder going to her left. Puts one up off. Thought it was off the glass. She managed to find it in, rattle it down. And so now Baruch on a run. They cut CSI's lead to 27.
You know, Dave, Snyder's only 4 of 16 from the field. She hasn't shot that well, but she looks like a pretty good player and a pretty good point guard for the Bearcats. The second-year player is a sophomore for Baruch.
Yeah, you know, she shoots confidently, Mike, and that's what you want to see. Even on tough shooting nights like tonight has been.
Yeah, you know, she's able to create for herself, and she's been able to get inside the Dolphin defense here tonight. She hasn't completed that many shots, but, you know, has driven effectively to the basket.
As a turnover there as Mitchie had it skip off of her leg, get out of bounds. So with 5:55 to go, Dolphins will get it via the turnover. They haven't scored in 3 minutes. The Dolphins looking for some offense here from many of their reserve players. Plamenko thought about a 3, and she was stuffed by Mitchie. Mitchie said, I'll take that. Giving over to Yee. Yee ran out of room, almost traveled with it. Opts out to Snyder. Mitchie around the horn, Rivera. First was looking for a posting up Zappolo. Opts out to Mitchie, hands off to Snyder. Snyder looks inside. Gives up to Rivera, off the glass, no good. Offensive rebound, no good. Zappolo turnaround offensive rebound, that's good. And Zapolo's good night continues.
Sorry, Dave. That was a opportunity for a basket on the third chance by the Bearcats as they play better here in the fourth.
11 points now for Daniela Zapolo, second on the team. Batar decides to drive in, right side, opts out to Plamenco. Plamenco losing it, and here comes Snyder the other way. 1v1 against Mooney. She comes in from the left. She is stonewalled by Mooney. Mooney helping her up. That's more important, and Baruch has it. Mitchie gets control. Short-range jumper, no good. Plamenco with the rebound.
Yeah, Mitchie's been struggling with a shot all day long, Dave. 1 of 7 from the field.
And timeout. 30-second timeout called by the Dolphins. So Nicole Sarcone wants to regroup her team, obviously get some subs into the game as well, but reorganize here for the final stretch.
Yeah, Dave, and it looked like Tori Moylan was going to check into the game for the Dolphins as she was over at the scorer's table, so we might have an opportunity to see her for the first time here tonight.
Yeah, we'll see how the Dolphins come out of this one here. So the Dolphins will go with Mooney, Plamenco, Tadaro, Elena DeMontro, and of course CSI's newcomer, Tori Moylan, 5'7" freshman forward from Staten Island, New York, Notre Dame Academy. Very recent addition to the Dolphins. I believe she was added on Monday morning. This is Plamenco looking inside to Tadaro. Travel by Tadaro, and you got to think Tadaro, Mike, the calming veteran presence in this lineup to kind of control play, and as you could see on her way back, kind of giving orders to Moylan, telling her where to line up, where to spot up defensively.
Yeah, you know, Dave, as she comes back in with a 25-point lead for the Dolphins, clearly out there to help the young players out on the floor.
The Dolphins in a 2-3 zone here. As Yee can't penetrate. Mitchie opts out of a baseline drive. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Jenko up over the outstretched arms of Moylan. That was a tough shot.
It was. Good defense by the Dolphins, but a better shot by Baruch.
And the Dolphins, who led by 35 at the end of 3, have seen their lead shrink to 22.
Still looking for their first basket of the quarter, Dave.
Tadaro, no looker to Mooney. Lost control. DeMontro for 3, no good. Rebound off the back iron belongs in the hands of Zerpolo. Her 5th rebound of the game. Looks to Jenko. Thought about a 3, dribbles inside. Short jumper from the paint, no good. And Moylan's in the stat sheet. Her first rebound as a CSI Dolphin. This is Plamenco. Drop pass into Tadaro. Off the glass and in.
Dolphins need a basket. They feed it to Tadaro. She gets it. She now has 14, one of 3 Dolphins in double figures here tonight.
Breaks a 5-minute, 37-second scoreless streak by the Dolphins. Increases their lead to 24. Yee with 15 on the shot clock. Mitchie still looking to work that offense. Zerpolo drives it on Plamenco, no shot. Foul was on the floor by the Dolphins. Either way, Zerpolo is going to go to the free throw line as the Dolphins are over the limit. Plamenco called for the foul.
Yeah, and Daniela has had a very efficient game, Dave. 11 points, 4 from the field, 3 of 3 from the free throw line, 5 rebounds, a couple of blocks, and an assist. So, I'm sorry, no assist, but a nice all-around return to the tank for Daniela here tonight.
We're going to have some subs who were told actually to get off of the floor momentarily. They can come in after the first free throw shot. Zerpolo stays perfect from the line. Nailia Ross comes in for Baruch, and Megan McEwen returns for Devin Mooney for the Dolphins. McEwen leads all CSI scorers with 15 points after a tough first half. Zerpolo stays hot from the line. She takes over the Baruch College lead in points scored with 13. And the Dolphins are up by 22 again. Plamenco inside. Short jumper in the lane is good.
Nice running one-handed that time by Lola as she lays it up and in, gets her first basket of the game, and 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining and a 30-second timeout.
Yeah, Baruch College head coach Michael Kotrozos, first thing he said to his team is, what are we doing? What are we doing? So obviously we're in the waiting stages, and Mike, that's really important for a developing team, finding themselves down by a heavy amount. You want to make sure you stay crisp mentally late in games. We've been here before with Dolphins teams in many sports. Michael Kotrozos doing the right thing, keeping his young team hungry and focused here in the last couple minutes.
Yeah, and if you're Baruch, you have something to build off of here in the fourth quarter, Dave. They've outscored the Dolphins in this fourth quarter 18-7, and it played well. And, again, 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining, and we mentioned before when the quarter started, if you're Baruch, you want to win the fourth quarter. So far, they're winning it.
It's one of the reasons why the Dolphins had brought in Tadaro and McEwen as well, you would believe. Yee drops baseline to Ross, no good, and McEwen scores the rebound for McEwen. That is rebound number 4 in the game. McEwen will work the half-court offense. Receives a screen from Moylan, hands off to DeMontro. DeMontro to Moylan. Moylan inside to Tadaro. Over to Plemenko for 3. High arcing 3 is good by Lola Plemenko.
Big three-pointer that time by Plemenko. She has the last 5 for the Dolphins.
Yeah, Plemenko coming into the game only with 6 points on the season. Having a good time out there in the fourth. Tracy Simon is getting set to come in for the Dolphins. Meanwhile, it's Yee the other way, approaching 10 on the shot clock. And once again, a screen foul. This one is on Emily Rivera. And so for Emily, that'll be 2. Look at the high arc there on Plemenko's shot. Tracy Simon reports for duty, replacing Diana Tadaro. Megan McEwen will control. Tracy Simon is a fan favorite here at the Sports and Recreation Center. 6'4" freshman from Union City. Calls for the ball, driving inside, off the glass, no good. Rebound is no good. Gets another offensive board, drops over to McEwen, no good. And scramble for the rebound is Mitchie.
Tracy trying to become the 13th Dolphin to score here tonight, but couldn't hit the shot.
Yeah, but perfect positioning for rebounds. Drop inside to Zerpolo. Zerpolo off the glass, no good. Simon with another rebound.
Zerpolo's first miss of the night at the tank.
Tracy Simon with 3 rebounds in about 40 seconds. That's what 6'4" will do for you, Mike.
Can't remember the last time I saw a Dolphin ladies basketball player at 6'4".
It's Moylan hitting her first jumper of her career in a Dolphins uniform. Joined them late, but right from the free throw line, drains it. There's a positive sign for the Dolphins. Dolphins lead back up to 29. Potentially the last possession of the game. Mitchie works over to the left. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Give over to Yee. Yee for a long 2, no good. Simon with another board, and the Dolphins will run things out from there. So the Dolphins got up in the first, really broke it open in the third, and they win this one by a final score of 78-49. The Dolphins, their 3rd straight victory.
Yeah, the Dolphins continue to play very well. It was a game that the Dolphins were able to really empty the bench and get all their players out on the floor. Everyone who played for the Dolphins, other than Tracy Simon, who just checked in for the last minute, were able to score. And all in all, Dave, a big all-around victory here for the CSI Dolphins.
We're going to be joined by Jacqueline Callie here, CSI junior. And Jackie, your stats are on the board in front of us. A little bit of a breakout performance, especially from behind the arc. You needed a night like this. Tell me a little bit about how you felt out there.
It's not a known thing that I've been struggling from the line. I've been struggling this whole season, and it's a known thing, so it felt extremely good to come out and actually hit my shots. But it was a great team effort. 1 through 13 came in, and they played as hard as they could, and that's what's the most important thing. And
you guys shot the ball well from three-point range, but really your interior players did such a good job of getting rebounds, second chance opportunities. How important is it for this team to function that way, play from the inside out?
Well, that's the most important thing for Coach, too, is out-rebound the team every single game. That's one of our main goals. And at halftime, we were really concerned about it, and we were out-rebounding them the whole time. But we didn't have an inside game last year, so it's a lot different this year that we can feed the ball into Rosa, Diana, Kayla, all of them at any time in the game, and they help us out.
You know, Jackie, the team had that tough loss at home against Hunter College, but you guys really bounced back big on the road against Brooklyn College. What can we expect out of this team in the second half of the season?
We're just going to keep going and work on what needs to be worked on, and I love this team so much, and they're a great group of girls, and they're just going to keep working as hard as they can.
Big home game coming up this Saturday against CCNY, a team that has given a lot of teams struggles here. What can we look forward to here from the Dolphins
They're
on Saturday?
one of the stronger teams in the league, and it's no surprise, but we're just going to come out the same way we have been, whether it's Brooklyn, whether it's Hunter, whether it's CCNY, Baruch, anyone, as listen to what Coach has to say and play as hard as we can.
All right, Jackie, your team is lining up for a photo.
Oh, okay.
Waiting for you. Congratulations on a great game.
Thank you very much.
That's Jackie Callie, nice enough to come over and join us, Dave. And she mentioned she's been struggling all year long, but she's never stopped hustling. She's played very well defensively. She's one of the leading rebounders on the team, and really gives the Dolphins so much in other areas. And if they could ever get her on track offensively, it will make such a big difference for the Dolphins heading down the stretch.
Absolutely, Mike. If Jackie Callie's on and she's playing well, it's usually a good indicator that the CSI team is playing well and they're doing well. And you know what? This is a game on paper. You knew the Dolphins were a favorite. You knew they were, expected to win. But the way they came out, the way they performed, hey, fourth quarter aside, they had a lot of freshmen in the game, but freshmen who also got some quality minutes, gained a little bit of confidence themselves. For Baruch, they're able to hang their hat on a good fourth quarter, but they're a young and developing team. The Dolphins, what it really came down to tonight, Mike, is they took care of business, and now one full rotation into the CUNYs, they got to feel pretty good about themselves at 7-1.
They really do, Dave. They have a couple of games coming up in the next week, both conference games. One here at the Tank. That'll be this Saturday against CCNY, and then on the road against John Jay. So a couple of big conference games coming up for the Dolphins as they remain on top of the table with just one loss so far here in the conference.
So we are about 5 minutes after 7, and so tip-off we expect will be about close to 7:30, and it's coming up next here on CSI Sportsnet. In the event you're watching us, we are gonna go off the air on this YouTube panel. Scroll down on your screen on CSIDolphins.com/CSI Sportsnet. We'll have the men's tip-off for you. We'll be off the air for a few minutes. Get our production ready for Game 2 of our CSI doubleheader between CSI and Baruch College. So for everyone here at CSI Sportsnet, for our camera operator, Joe Cusimano, for Nick Durst, our engineer, for Mike Babuski, I'm David Pizzuto, wishing you a good night. Be sure to join us for CSI men's basketball coming up next against Baruch. Once again, your final score here, CSI Dolphins 78 and Baruch College 49. Right here, our women's basketball final. Once again, thanks for joining us. Have a great night, and we'll see you for men's basketball coming up next.